Here we are, I think 3 days into our trip to Sumbar, and I've just had my first carp for breakfast. A nice hard fighting 37-pound mirror. That was a while coming. It's been blooming cold and a crazy journey down here, but really happy to get off the mark. Had a little bit of local advice yesterday about spots in the front of this swim, took that, and here we are. First carp from Sumbar on a beautiful sunny morning. I'll be happy with that. Caught this one on tigers, little handful of bait, fished out to the back of a hump at 120 yards range, and yeah, chuffed to bits to get off the mark. Just had a little common hybrid thing just before that, about £2, something like that. But yeah, moments after, this one went in the net, and couldn't be happier at the minute. Sound, I'll get her back now. Lovely. Now approaching the end of our third full day, and it's been blooming hot. I say easily, I've been in not much shade here where I am, so I've been out in it all day, and I'd say it was comfortably high 20s. My face feels quite tingly, so probably got a bit of sunburn. But more importantly, after a few more adjustments with what I was doing and what I was using out there, I've managed to get a couple of bites today. Started off with a hybrid, like common hybrid thing, probably 3 or 4 pounds, something like that, and then had a 37-pound mirror quite quickly after, and rebaited, and then was sat around chatting. I'm guessing maybe 11. Had another take. Felt a good fish right from the word go, and I managed to get myself in a bit of a pickle with one of my other lines. The fish was in pretty close, 25-30 meters out, and started to try to get the rod unwrapped from the other. Kind of took me off the prize really, and the fish kited around to the left about 25 yards down and found a snag that it was not coming out of. Got the little boat out. I've got the boat for that reason, you know, if getting a fish snagged up, fish safety, or perhaps if the fish are proper feeding, it's a good way to get a bit of bait out quick. But anyway, it was doomed. Got out in the boat, got the rod tipped right down in the water, and yeah, the fish had gone clearly, and I was just hooked up to something solid, and had to pull for a break. That was the end of that. So a bit disappointed. It did feel a good one. Just a couple of beeps on the take and bent into it, and it was just sat there, probably not realised that it was hooked, and then started to move off nice and slow. But you never know for sure, and at least it's a couple of bites after a couple of days of it being quiet. Cloud cover coming over now, so that should hopefully keep some of this warmth from today in, so the lake's going to benefit from that. And it literally is a matter of waiting for these fish to wake up. It's starting to, and I think another day or two of this kind of hotter weather, I'm sure we'll start getting in amongst them. Wow, skip forward a bit. It's now Saturday dinner time, Saturday afternoon. and I've actually moved swims pretty much opposite there where I was fishing on the far bank. I'd given it 6 nights in there, and exhausted all my options. I think there was just no fish about. So I asked one of the lads that was fishing down the bank a bit if he minded if I come in fish up into this bay, and he didn't have no problem with that. I've been seeing fish through the gap over there in this bay. I've seen fish top in, not loads but steady enough to get me to move over here, just through lack of action on the other side. But yeah, put 2 rods out where they are now, and had literally within about 20 minutes had a small common, and whilst that was in the net, the other rod went off with a small mirror. So after a couple of quiet days, that was nice to have in the middle of a storm now, which is kind of typical, because I think they were enjoying the better, warmer weather in this bay. Whether this will push them out or not, I don't know, but there were a few in here. I'd seen a few signs as well, a couple of roll. But, we just had a massive big clap of thunder and a bit of lightning. Just have to ride it out for I think an hour or so. It's forecast for the rain, and see what happens after that. So there we go. Saturday afternoon, move round to peg 24. And we've had not a massive one by Sumbar standards, but it's the biggest fish. The biggest fish I caught this week, which is a little over 38 pounds. Like I say, not a big one, but absolutely more than welcome after a tough week. Maybe we might start getting some bites now. It's going to be better weather from now on in for the second week. So hopefully more of these in the net. That'd be nice. Let's get her back. Second fish of this morning. Actually about an hour or so later. Sun's up nice now as well, and just had the second fish of the morning, biggest fish of the trip, a nice 54 pound common, lovely clean fish too. So after a slow week of catching just a few fish, handful of fish, it's nice to get a decent fish in the net. It's lovely. Let's turn around and have a look. Off the same spot again as well, in this sunshine. That's lovely. Oh. Not putting a great deal of bait out yet, but I guess enough. So I think this week the fishing should pick up somewhat, because the temperature's going to come right up now, and hopefully it will get these carp going properly. And that is lovely.
Lovely. That's why we come all these miles to catch carp like this. Wonderfully long Croatian mirror. Time to get her back and hopefully get another.
Well, it's a lovely evening on Sumbar tonight, Sunday evening, the start of our second week. It's just really nice to be sat out here at the minute. Feel a lot happier in this swim as well, and a lot more options for me to try out than the last spot. And literally an open water swim with a hump at about 100 meters and straight out in front. That was pretty much the options for that swim, but this bay goes on round a bit. I have heard fish crashing down in there, and yet to explore anything yet in that direction, but that's looking good. It's warming up nicely. Not many places I would rather be, if any. Fantastic.
Okay. Now, there's a nice little bit of activity. Just had two bites, one after the other. The first one was I just put a 28-pound common back, and no sooner than that had happened, this idiom, my friend. This 32-pound nice clean mirror carp come for a visit. Starting to catch a few like this now. It does seem to be picking up as the temperature's warming up. As the temperature's warming up, things seem to be improving. It's a nice clean fish. A stocky, I assume, but nice and clean. 32 pound. I'm pretty happy with that, to be fair. It's been quite a tough 10 days, and this is my 10th fish. So a fish a day. It's been fishing hard, but hopefully things are gonna improve now with it warming up. It's very hot again today already, hot again tomorrow, and hot again on Friday. So they seem to be moving a bit in the bay now. I've seen a few fish this morning fizzing at the back, so I'm gonna explore that area later and hopefully get a few bites going. But let's get this one back. Okay, so here we are. It's Thursday morning now, and it's about just gone 8 o'clock. I've just put back a small mirror, 20 pounder, low 20, and not long before that had this one, which is a nice common, a little over, yeah, so lively, a little over 40 pounds. It's the best, it's the best fish we've had for a few days. I've had also had a 31 in the night as well. I think that was about 2 o'clock this morning, another 31. Yeah, it's been steady couple of 3 bites now every 24 hours, but hopefully we just started to get a couple of better ones, some 30s in this one, so maybe some bigger ones might be moving in. Let's see if we can get this one up anyway. I think this is fish number 11, yeah, 12 or something like that. But you know, it's been steady. I think I'm still averaging I think it's a fish a day, because I had quite a lot of quiet days at the start of the session. But let's see if we can get her up now. They're very, very lively. Hopefully, we just want to have a quick look at you. Oh, a bit of a belly on it already. But, there we go. Nice 40-pound Sumbar common. I know it's not a big fish for this lake, but when it's been tough going and catching relatively small fish for the most part, a 40-pounder is a good one to catch, so I'm pretty happy. We'll have a quick look at the other side. Now she's behaving. Quick flip that round. Like so. Have a little splash of water. I'll have you back in a second. Yeah, nice to catch one of this size after a string of smaller ones. Oh. Come on, won't be long. And there we go. The other side. Lovely in the sunlight. Tough fishing, but really nice place. Really like it here. And learnt a lot as well. So if I get to come back, maybe we can get into some of the better ones. But there's still 3 nights left yet, so let's time it. Let's get this fish back. There we go. Day 12, about 2:30 in the afternoon, and just had another fish. A couple in the night, a couple this morning, and whilst I was waiting for my mate Oz to come round, we were off down the shops. This one just picked up my bait, and it's a very handsome 42-pounder. Lovely clean fish that is. That's really nice. Put up a good account, a good scrap out of him. We're starting to get a couple of the bigger ones now. We'll spin it around quickly. Have a look at the other side. It is pretty hot today, so you don't want to keep them out for too long. Considering this is a spring day, it's blimmin' warm. And there we go. Nice 42-pounder for dinner. And a few more of these. Let's get her back. A little bit later than normal tonight. I just had to redo a rod. Sort of fishing on the sort of back of a hump just off the end of the island. Sort of bowstring tight, so it beeps. I've got to investigate it. And yeah, there was nothing there anyway, but just redone that. Yeah, it's been, well, since last night through till this morning, it's been the most productive day. I ended up with
5 bites, a couple of 40-pounders, so it was a nice enjoyable day. I just feel it's been really hot again. I mean, sort of mid-20 in the van when I went to the shop. Certainly felt a bit warmer than that out on the bank, but you know, I still think they're waking up. It's definitely increasing anyway, the amount of activity that I have had. So I've put a little bit more bait out tonight. Not a lot. I was putting a bit out anyway, I suppose, but not a massive amount. Probably about 3 kilos on each rod, but I'm fishing 2 rods on one spot and 2 on another. We're allowed, because there's only 8 of us on here this week, we're allowed to fish an extra rod, and as it's been slow, it was worth sticking out the extra one to try and nick an extra bite or 2. I mean, as it's turned out, the sort of 4 rod, I haven't used it a lot, but I've only had 1 bite on it anyway. But I think if they were feeding, you wouldn't want 4 rods out in your swim. But as you can see already, it's going to be a near full moon tonight, so it'll be nice and bright. Maybe see some big commons out tonight. But yeah, there we are. That's the state of play now anyway. Is end of day 12, and I'm now up to 17 fish. It's a little bit more reasonable, and still time yet for a good one. Okay, swim number 3. We've just a couple of nights to go. I'm seeing a lot of, there's nobody fishing over this side of the lake. The wind, but there was nobody fishing over this side of the lake, and we're seeing a lot of fish down in this margin round to the right here and round the front of this point. I was fishing over right over there on the other side of them islands. I've been behind them islands in that bay, but yeah, I felt, you know, when this wind picked up, the bay just seemed to empty out of fish, and a little 30, I couldn't resist it any longer, seeing these fish crash over in this area. So we're gonna spend the last 2 nights in peg 12 now. Conditions are changing somewhat as well. We've got a decent wind on now. It's been on most of the day in the same direction. It's been pretty still for a couple of days, and we've got some cloud cover and that coming. So hopefully, yeah, it'll be a good meet. Still got to get another rod out yet, but see what it's like on this side. Day of our trip to Sumbar, and I did yesterday. I moved on to this peg yesterday. It's the 3rd swim I fished, and I lost one quite quickly. Got cut off on something down in the margin, and then had a very quiet night. You know, nothing, no beeps or nothing through the night. But sat here watching them today, and it was apparent that they were moving along a bit of a ridge about 80 yards out. So I've been packing up most of the day. Got the rods out 40 minutes ago, and I've had one pretty quickly. And it's a very handsome, chunky 47 pound common. That'll do.
nice fish to catch on your last day. I'm really happy with that. It's been a bit of a challenging week, but look at him. He's lovely. That's a little turn around. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenging week with the conditions and that. Never had no settled weather at all. It's been changeable, and really the last couple of days has been that's been eating the bait. The last couple of days it's sort of settled into these conditions we got now, and it does seem like things are picking up somewhat. Anyway, if this turns out to be my last fish of the trip, I won't be too disappointed. He said he's a nice chummer, and wouldn't be a bad way to finish if that was it. But there's more hours left yet, and I'm going to try and see if we can get another. Happy? Let's put her back. Well, here we are, sat just gone tea time on the last evening of our trip here. I really like it, really like the place. Moved around a little bit, and yeah, there's not a bad looking swim on the lake. It's a real nice place, and I've really enjoyed it, and I look forward to coming back here. But these conditions now have turned proper decent. It's been blowing well into this bank now for the last few hours, and the fish are starting to get active. Got a couple of rods out. Not long ago I had that 47 pound common on the middle rod. There's a lot of fish down to the right here on that bank there at the minute. So I'm just going to save me options for the last rod. There's still a few hours left before it's dark. But yeah, overall, great trip. Enjoyed it immensely. Learned a lot about the place. And it'll be very nice to come back. Windy finish to our session. Spectacular fish in the sling to finish with as well. An hour and a half ago, had the penultimate fish of the session, and it's a new personal best. Unbelievably, 78 pounds 10 ounces. What a fish. Oh my days. What an end to this week. Kind of pretty speechless really. Just fantastic, fantastic looking carp. Fantastic way to it. Right, let's see if we can get her up. There we go. Look at that. What a fish. What a fish.
Isn't it?
What a place. Oh man. No words needed.
Check that out.
Let's put her down and turn her around. She's definitely worthy of a second look. We can compare photos at another time.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look at this magnificent.
Look at the shoulders on it.
Hey. That's magnificent carp.
Isn't it? Bring it round to me a bit. Yep.
Look at that. Fantastic. And there we go. What a magnificent carp. The biggest carp I've ever caught.
Excellent.
Right at the end.
Wow.
Fantastic place.
Wow.
That'll do, my friend. That's time to let her go.
What up, mate?
Okay, so the last action of this session is going to be letting this magnificent creature go. Unbelievable. Just look at that. Oh my God. There you go, my friend. Look at that. That'll do. That'll do.